Aloha, Kyle and Drew. This is Jason from Hawaii. I just wanted to let you guys and the listeners know that Dragon's Lair's Comics and Collectibles, this awesome comic book store in Hawaii, will be celebrating its 3rd anniversary on Free Comic Book Day, Saturday, May 6th. This awesome comic book store will have a couple local artists in the store, and there will be a store-wide sale. So if you guys in the neighborhood, please stop on by and help celebrate Dragon's Lair's 3rd anniversary. Kyle and Drew, again, mahalo for letting me do this, and aloha.
Thank you for listening to Comics for Fun and Profit. This is Kyle and Drew with your sneak peek at next week, episode number 376. We are back in studio recording from our Guerrilla podcast of last week, recorded in our very own vehicle on the highway heading to Wisconsin. So this one should have just a bit better audio quality. Before we get into what's coming out next week, as we begin the month of May in comic book shops, Drew, I want to toss it over to you for some stuff from last week and to wish you a happy belated birthday, sir.
Yep, let's move on from that.
You always love getting older, don't you?
Yeah, it's great. So yeah, you heard from us in the car, and we apologize for the audio quality. It was what it was.
It was in a car,
but it was all means to an end to get to Wisconsin, to Oconomowoc, and to visit Eric and James at Kowabunga Comics. And I dare say it was worth the 5-hour round trip.
Absolutely.
We ended up doing 20 hours in the car over 5 days in 4 states, and with 2 little brats. No. Wonderful kids of Kyle's that were in there. We had a good time, but I think the highlight for me was the trip to Wisconsin and the trip to Kowabunga Comics. I will tell you what, for my money, it is everything you want in a comic book shop. It is first and foremost, the piece de resistance is their wall. Their wall is key issue after key issue, some slabbed, some raw, some high grade, some lower grades that are a little more affordable. Great stuff out, great stuff hidden. Some stuff that's on layaway for very important customers, which is very cool, but we got to see them. We got to see Avengers #1, Silver Surfer #1.
Avengers #1.
Yes. Silver Surfer #1, Fantastic Four 48. They had stacks of New Mutants 98, Batman Adventures 12, key after key after key, and great stuff. And it was just an awesome wall. This is exactly the kind of wall you want in a comic shop. And they don't stop there. They've got their new releases. They've got their back issue bins. They've got dollar comics to dig through. They've got Warhammer going on. They've got Magic happening. They had toys. They had a beautiful walls of trade after trade. They've got their instant sets that I hopped on and had to get something. They really run the gamut of everything you want in a comic book shop, and it was meticulously curated. There was a lot of care, not boxes laying around. Just a fantastic comic shop, and it was just it kind of made me really sad as we crossed the border back into the area where our comic shop are, and what we have to go back to, and it's going to take us a while to get back to Wisconsin again to get back to an awesome shop like that. But man, what a great store, and hats off to Eric and James, and thank you for taking all my money. And it was a pleasure, and it was a pleasure to hang out with them and meet some of their. They have a cool employee named Sam who works behind the counter. He's a cool guy, and they have an unofficial employee named Tom who was awesome and hooked us up with a giant vat of gum for the road to get us back where we were going. Place was packed on a Sunday, and just a picturesque corner shop with everything you want in a comic book shop. I don't know what else is there to say about the shop, Kyle.
Yeah, it was super nice. I was very impressed. It was a really nice capstone to the weekend. It was awesome to see all the things that you leave the shop saying, well, I'm saving my money and going back for that, because I could see it. It's right there within my grasp. So I might as well save up to get it. It was pretty cool. It's nice to see that they buy big collections. They pull things out and, have everything all the things you want available there. So that was pretty rad.
I also got to see my first comic book press, which was really cool. And
that was awesome.
I got to see the process there. The ability to press out a wrinkle or a bend or something and raise it a tenth of a point or whatever before it gets graded. That was really, really cool and really interesting technology I'd never seen before, how that worked, and just kind of some of the mindset they have in doing that sort of thing to basically serve their customers. And man, there's tons of cool stuff there. Tons of cool stuff going on, and really a great top-notch operation.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was great to visit, and I love that shop. I wish it was on our neck of the woods.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, that was kind of the capstone for our C2E2 weekend. And while we were gone, I guess Marvel decided, according to our listener Robert Seifert, he sent us a Bleeding Cool article where Marvel decided that real fans in line to talk to artists and get signatures are the ones without window bags. So window bags are when they cut a little hole in the Mylar and tape around it to show where they want their signature written on it. Some people like to kind of designate the exact place where they want the signature. I don't do that, but I don't know why it's a problem if somebody wants to kind of point them in the right direction. But Marvel decided that they were going to harass the people in line that had those window bags and refer to them as not real fans, which I think is kind of not cool. Just because they were going to get them slabbed or they wanted them signed in a certain place. I don't know if that makes him any less of a fan. No, what do you think, Kyle?
I think it's classic Marvel being Marvel. Alienating fans and picking things out and thinking they know better than the majority of people, but nobody gets to tell me how to collect. So that's the great thing about it.
True. And or what to collect, and makes you want to collect less Marvel when they do stuff like that.
Yeah, when questioned why, the representative for Marvel said they didn't want dealers nor CGC to be here, just real fans. So they even had a problem with CGC in general.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Just another example of Marvel just don't get it no more.
Nope. I think we got a question 2 weeks ago about our UK iTunes reviews and the fact that we only had a couple, and we were confused by the whole email. Well, Derek, our good friend over at Comics Alternative, sent us this. Why were you only seeing 2 reviews on your podcast ratings and reviews section? The reason is you apparently only have 2 reviews in the United Kingdom. And that's what your listener is seeing in his iTunes account, which is defaulted to the UK market. Information on your iTunes account is defaulted to your home country. And you can see this by scrolling down to the bottom of the ratings and reviews page. There's a little icon in the bottom right, at least on the desktop version, that shows the flag of the country from which you're seeing the information. If you click on that icon, you're taken to a page where you can choose your country or region. If you click on a country flag icon, then you go back into the iTunes store as it's geared to that country or region. So if your UK listener wants to see your ratings and reviews from US listeners, he should click on his home UK icon in iTunes, choose the US icon from Choose Your Country or Region page, Then search your show again in iTunes and look at the ratings and reviews section. And there he will find your U.S. reviews. And, of course, this is how you can see how your ratings and reviews are from all around the world. I hope this helps, Eric. It does help. It's very cool. Just makes iTunes sound horrible, though, and a bigger mess than I thought it was. And we applaud the 40-some folks out there who have taken the time to go through the rigmarole to give us a rating and a review on iTunes, because obviously if you just heard that, what a hassle it can be. So we appreciate it. We appreciate ratings and reviews. We think it helps. We think it helps more people find us. I don't know. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. I think so.
I think so too.
We think so. So please do that. Give us a rating and a review if you can. And give us a rating and review in Australia or in Spain or all over the world in different regions. It'll be kind of interesting to see how many of those we can get as well.
And I'll be downloading iTunes on my Windows PC recently, so I can attempt to dig in there and shout those out.
Oh, well, welcome to 2004.
I have it on my phone. I choose not to have it infect and shut up.
Whatever.
I hate you.
Okay. We got another round of Final Order cutoff late-breaking image variant covers. This time, they're all about
news.
They're all about Spawn, and they're all about celebrating Spawn with a variety of covers. What looks good, Kyle, in that batch?
Some of them look good, and many of them are cover artists. I have no idea who they are, but there is a couple of them that are pretty darn cool. Old Guard has a Chris Samney cover and is pretty darn cool looking. There's a Declan Shalvey cover on Injection that is very, very cool. Big fan of that one. Other than that, a few of the other ones that I clicked on I thought were kind of goofy looking.
Yeah.
But each of them having sometimes a subtle, sometimes a not so subtle homage to the 25th anniversary of Spawn. So, yet another in the trend of variant, independently orderable covers for Image that are not able to be solicited within the previews guide 2 months beforehand. I hate that.
But they are accessible through the Final Order cutoff order window at your local comic shop. Mm-hmm. And but not all of them. Sometimes by the time we hear about them via a press release, they have already we've missed a deadline on a couple of the retailers.
They've run their course. Yeah.
And sometimes we miss them all. I feel remember we've missed them all before. But what do you think about we are amateur speculators. At least I consider myself quite the amateur. Not quite at the level of James and Eric, who have their own shop and kind of live in this world. So, as amateur speculators, what do you think about a built-in scarcity that they are providing to us? If we pay attention and can get in and jump on some of these independently orderable, affordable variants that are kind of scarce because not everybody gets wind of them. Do we like it?
You would think that hypothetically, with them being not as easily accessible and, in my mind, very, very scarcely ordered, but that hasn't been the case with the Women's Celebration Month, with the Image anniversary, with the April Fools. While none of they are fairly scarce, they haven't been popping. It's been absolutely not a big deal at all. So
nobody wants them.
It seems like, ooh, that's something you're going to want to have. But in reality, nobody cares.
And that doesn't make sense to me, right? I would. I mean, the Women's Month, I wasn't really blown away by some of those. But I liked most of the anniversary, and I thought about half of the April Fools were pretty cool. And I would think that others would as well. But maybe they're not as rare as we think they are. Maybe it just seems rare. But a lot of stores are picking them up. And it could just be, now that that this is like a new way to sell more copies of something where the comic shop has already computed their order for, let's say, Outcast. And then they release this late-breaking, independently orderable cover. Now, how many stores are going to be like, oh, geez, I got to get some of these for the shop? But who's going to go back in and say, well, I'll edit down some of my cover A's to cover that? I don't think they're going to. I think they're just going to throw more on it and buy more than they would normally buy. And therefore, I think it's kind of smart on Image's point to do that, because they're actually probably increasing their orders of a title that might not get anything that near that number, unless there's a very savvy comic shop owner that says, all right, I'll add 2 of this variant cover, but I'm going to edit my original order of cover A down to compensate. I don't know how many are doing that, whether just, oh crap, I better get some of these so I don't get caught without. Yeah, I'm not sure. That'd be interesting to know.
Yeah, the only one that's really hit is there's a Savage Dragon Jock cover that's pretty cool. That one,
I think you called that, right?
Yeah, I said that. I was a fan of that one coming in. That's the only one that's really commanding a better price for the most part.
Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense to me.
Yep. But like, I go and pick up all the ones for the certain things. Like, I have to have all the Rat Queens, so I have to have all those dumb covers, whether I like them or not.
Well, we usually are that way with Walking Dead.
Yeah, if they had a Walking Dead in any of these, I'd have to have them. Same thing with Saga.
But we have missed a couple of those.
For which ones?
Walking Dead.
No, I haven't.
Well, I have.
Oh, you have, yeah.
On the anniversary.
Yeah, I went out and made sure I got some of those.
Thanks for getting your brother one.
Yeah, they only had one.
That's a likely story. Anything else about our trip? Chicago, Wisconsin, anything before we put a button on that and leave that behind?
You quick flipped your C2E2 stuff, and my stuff's going up tomorrow. Or your exclusives, right?
Yeah, I did. I sold my redneck already, and could have sold my silver button, but I'm holding out for just a little bit more on that one. I think I got a little bit lowballed. I think the guy wanted to just give me $40 with free shipping, so I thought that was a little low. I'll try to get a little more out of him on that one, or her, him or her. Did not put the Super Sons up yet. Think I will, though. I think that's kind of cool, and I might bundle some of those ash cans that I picked up.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
Those are kind of neat. See if anybody's interested in those. I don't know. Need a few more hours in the day. Get some of that stuff up. That'd be kind of fun. Because it was an expensive trip. It'd be nice to chip away at some of the expenses.
But that's all I got, sir.
All right, let's roll over to the sneak peek then.
Yeah, follow me over to previewsworld.com. We're going to click on upcoming releases. Head on over to May 3rd, 2017. We're into May, good brother. So, let's click that table view, scroll on down, and Drew, let's start where we always love to start. Let's start in Dark Horse.
Well, there is a Predator Hunters, and
and just a quick shout out, there are 5 release months or weeks in May.
Oh, okay. So, this might be lighter than normal. Usually 2 and 3 pretty heavy. And then either 4 or 5 is kind of super light. One of those is going to be the light one, right?
Yeah.
Usually that fifth week, but sometimes not. Any interest in that Predator Hunters? I am not.
Nope. I'm not on that one.
Not doing anything for me.
Yeah.
We've got the super hot. Okay, go ahead.
No, I was just reading something. Sorry.
Yeah, are you going down to DC?
If you've got nothing else in Dark Horse, let's head on down to DC.
Just the super hot button with the lenticular 22, and another variant for 22, which I don't think was orderable at the time.
Yes, it was. It was called the International variant.
Oh, that's the International variant?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then the Standard. We think these are all going to be hot. So the first rounds sure were. We think the lenticulars are going to be hot. We think the cover A's are going to be hot. I know 21 had a weird solicit cycle. It was one of those where, if you remember, the lenticular was offered an extra month in advance. And then the following month, the Standard 22 was not in the previews. Or the Standard 21, Batman 21, was not in the previews. It was part of one of those Previews Plus supplemental orders. So they're lower and not as many out there of the cover A's for 21. So we think those are all hot. I think that's going to continue with 22 and through the flashes as well.
Walked into our LCS Wednesday. Guess how many copies of Batman 22 they had available?
21?
Or yeah, 21.
1?
0.
Didn't order any?
Nothing. Could not walk in the day of release and get Batman 21 in any form.
So did they have any for their quote unquote subscribers?
Quote unquote, yes. But we'll see, because my buddy has a pull there, and I'm curious to see what's in his bucket.
Yeah. So that's sad. Not a single one.
Yeah, a big, huge Batman-centric DC event, and whiff on Flash, whiff on Batman. That, or he's pulling them and going straight to eBay.
And he said they sold out?
He just said, no Batman.
Uncool. I hate that guy. We got the penultimate Flintstones as we wind down to the end of that. I'm going to be sad to see that go, but it's been a fun one and in the early runnings for Book of the Year. Anything else happening that's really cool over in DC?
One of my favorite Harley covers, Harley Quinn, number 19, cover B, Frank Cho.
Is that with the horse?
I just think it's really cool looking.
That is interesting. Can't go wrong with Cho. What do we think of the return of Injustice?
Oh, I'm excited. You know why?
Tom Taylor's back.
Tom Taylor. So I'm in. And I've been seeing all kinds of really cool commercials and ads and trailers for the game, and I am even more intrigued to read this book because they just released the Joker as a playable character who shouldn't exist in this world. So I need to find out why and what's going on there. Yeah. So even more for why I'm interested in Injustice 2 number 1.
Yeah. One of the, I don't know if you listen to the Kowabunga's podcast, but it's also pretty darn good. But they were talking about the DC Diamond Summit and some of the information that they were talking about. And one of the things that came out of that was, Rebirth, big success, and as they are kind of rounding into that first year, they want to capitalize on the momentum, and for the next year, they kind of want to reinvigorate the way that they have collaborations between writer and artist. Give the artist part one is that they're going to give the artist a little more autonomy. Going to be less full scripts on the writer's part, less Scott Snyder-ish scripts where he writes every single panel and every single hair on Batman's head. It drives Capullo crazy. There'll be less of that and more of like the Marvel method where it's a collaboration between a plot designed by the writer, artist kind of visualizes that plot, and then writer goes back in and dialogues it, that sort of thing, which is kind of cool.
Kind of scary.
And then, could be great, could be pretty weird. And then, but part two of their discussion was that capitalizing on the year of rebirth and that success, the next year they want to focus on developing new heroes and new villains. So, in my mind, that is spec gold.
No doubt.
So, we really need to start paying attention to DC solicits for when these might be releasing. So, I'm gonna give that to you. That'll be your job.
Cool.
You need to comb through those and make sure if there's any chance that there's a new IP that you let us know.
Yeah, I got nothing else going on. I'm in.
Yeah, you're in? Okay, awesome. Appreciate that.
Deathstroke 18, cover A, Bill Sienkiewicz cover. Those have been hot. Anything with his name on it's been selling fairly well.
Why is that?
I don't know. He's had a bit of a resurgence, so much so that he skipped out on C2E2.
Yeah, I mean, I love him, of course, because of his Moon Knight connection, but I just wonder why other people do.
Are you reading Savage Things?
No. I tried.
Boy Justin Jordan on 3 of 8.
Did you?
I did not. And I cannot give you a good reason why.
Yeah. Too much stuff to read.
No doubt. Jeez, I'm overwhelmed. Anything else in DC, sir? Mm-hmm. All right, let's head on down to IDW. Long list from IDW this week.
Excited for Box Office Poison, Color Comics, number 5. That's a really cool slice of life comic. And that is all I am excited about.
That is all I've got as well. So, a small smattering of nothing from IDW. Let's head on down to Image.
Ooh. Ooh, look at that. Our creative team boys and girl of Jonathan Luna and Sarah Vaughn from Alex and Ada fame are back together again. Eternal Empire. There is only a cover A, so I can't screw this up.
Correct.
I am going heavy on Eternal Empire, even though Alex and Ada didn't make me a dime.
Mm-hmm. I think this is going to be good quality, well written. I'm excited for it, but I did not spec heavy because Alex and Ada didn't do anything.
Yeah. Extremity. And Daniel Warren Johnson was at C2E2, and I did not take any extremities with me, which was dumb.
I did, but forgot them.
I missed the cutoff for the second printing with a new cover. So I've really not played this one very well. What about the third printing with just changing the third printing of number 1 with just changing the font color?
Nope.
We shy away from those, right?
Correct. That's not something people are running for.
Okay. Very good.
Old Guard number 1 third print is different. Or is it that the same as the second print that was different? It was not the same
that does not look familiar to me.
Yeah.
And nor does the second printing.
Of number 2, yeah.
Of number 2. You'd have less success with second printings, I'm guessing.
If they change the cover, it's still a good thing. Absolutely, I still go after them if the second issue has a new cover for a second printing. That's still a sought after item.
Okay.
Outcast 27 keeps on trugging along. Almost pulled the trigger on a graded version of Outcast number 1 at Kowabunga, but I have too many number 1s.
We don't have any graded.
That's true.
And it was a pretty reasonable deal.
It was. Paper Girls 14. That book's so friggin' good.
It is good. That last one was amazing.
Walking Dead 167. A Certain Doom. It is possible, could it be, that the inevitable can somehow be avoided?
Yeah.
Rick and Andrea have a tough decision to make. I'm getting extras of this one.
Youngblood #1. I think the cover B is the only one that could have any heat behind it because it's a Liefeld cover, but could be wrong. That's the one I would go.
You don't
or
like the Chris Daughtry cover?
I didn't realize that was that Chris Daughtry. Because his last one did really well. The last cover he did for
Batman 50.
It was a Batman, wasn't it? Yeah.
Or 52. One of the two.
It wasn't 50 because 50 was the connecting variant from Neil Adams.
Sure, and 52.
52 was?
He did a polybagged version of Batman from the new 52. I thought it was issue 50, but maybe not.
Okay.
So is this is this new? What is Youngblood #1? So
Youngblood was part of the initial wave.
The initial, exactly.
But it was a Liefeld book back then. Now it's not a Liefeld book. It's Chad Bowers
and Rob Liefeld with art by Rob Liefeld. So is this a reissue of the 25-year ago one, or is this new?
No, this is new.
Okay.
Right? Right.
Part 1 debut anniversary issue. Is
all new cast and a brand new mission.
Gotcha.
Well, that's weird though.
I remember ordering, but it's thrown me off when I was reading it there.
Yeah, because when I clicked on the cover B with Liefeld on just the cover, it has writer Chad Bowers, artist Jim Toe. Liefeld's not doing anything on the interiors. So, what does the Daughtry cover say?
It says, no
Liefeld.
Anymore.
So why would he do the interior arts on the cover A?
I'm guessing there's a bit of an error in some portions of.
But which is wrong? What's
if
wrong?
you look at the front of the actual book, it does not say Liefeld anywhere on it. So I'm guessing that's just.
So cover A is not Liefeld; it's only cover B.
Correct.
So that goes back to my original premise, where I think that would be the one with any heat on it, because it's the only one with Liefeld's connection. But if you can't trust the solicits, I don't know.
I'm avoiding all of them just to be safe.
So you wouldn't take a flyer on a $2 cover B with Liefeld. $2 or $3.
I'm going cover A. I'm sticking to my gun. I have a
No,
system. I have a system, and it works.
Your system, you have to switch from your system for this one.
I don't have to do anything, sir.
Well, that's true. True. I would suggest you switch. And moving on.
Anything else in Image, good sir?
No.
All right, let's head on down to Marvel and see what shenanigans are afoot. All new Guardians of the Galaxy #1, just in time for the movie.
This is a Jerry Duggan written, Aaron Cooter penned book, or drawn book. So, if that floats your boat.
I'm sure there are some awesome variants of this.
Yeah.
There have been some wicked ones we might take a look at later on. But for now, go ahead.
Also have a Black Bolt #1. Usually shy for any Inhumans books at all. I tend to stay away from them. This guy's kind of interesting because if he speaks, it's like a nuclear bomb going off. So he can't ever talk. So I'm not sure what they're going to do with this book. If it's going to be like a I Am Groot situation, a lot of silent issues, or a lot of thought balloons.
All pizza dog all the time.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see just exactly what that's going to be about. I'm curious.
Let's see. Sorry, I'm looking at the all new Guardians of the Galaxy variants.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Nifty. Alright. Sorry. Champions number 8, continuing to roll around.
Got to your $5 Secret Empire number 1.
Oh, yeah.
Exciting stuff.
Now, Jean Grey, number 1, intrigues me.
Okay, why is that?
Dennis Hopeless, Victor Ibanez.
Uh-huh.
When a teenage Jean Grey traveled through time and arrived in the present, she learned the terrible fate that befell her predecessor. Possessed by a cosmic entity called the Phoenix, Jean was trapped in an endless cycle of life and death. Determined to escape that future, Jean set out to write her own destiny, but now she's visited by a premonition that the Phoenix is coming for her. And in this ongoing series by Dennis Hopeless, blah blah blah, she's going to fight tooth and nail to escape becoming its next victim. And this is on the heels of learning that one of the next movies we're going to get from the X-Men Fox universe is Dark Phoenix.
Oh.
With our girl from Game of Thrones. So, I'm curious if they're going to do anything through this that might be warrant of a movie, or just stick with some of the old tried and true Dark Phoenix type stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. So are you reading like the X-Men Golds and X-Men Blues and Weapon X and all that stuff?
Weapon X, definitely. X-Men Gold, I read and thought, okay, this could be okay. But who knows? We'll see what happens to that book with everything going on.
Yeah, I think I'm going to steer clear of all of it again.
Oh, yeah? See, I'm begging for a good X-Men book, though.
Yeah, I am too, but I don't think this is it.
Now, there is a Jean Grey number 1 Marguerite Sauvage cover. Kind of disco-ish. Not bad. I'm not sure what the 1 in 25 or whatnot is on that one.
Where are you seeing that?
What I'm doing is I'm going up to new releases. I'm going to new printings and variant. Open that in a secondary tab and scroll down to the Marvel section, which is going to give you every incentive cover and chase cover for Marvel within the given month.
Oh,
And I'm simply comparing the ones we're looking at to what's offered and looking at a couple covers.
that's very good. Nice little research you're doing there.
Yeah. See, sometimes I don't just turn on a podcast and talk and hope everything falls into place.
Yeah, one time.
No doubt. No doubt. All right. Anything else in Marvel that piques our interest? We've got Secret Empire number 1. Now we flipped through the 0. Are you on for this event?
Yeah. I have to, or otherwise, I'm pretty much going to be like marvelous if I don't embrace something that they put out.
I like to think you're marvelous, anyways.
Ha! Marvel.
Heyo.
Less.
No.
But I am, I'm going to be reading this Miles Morales Spider-Man 16, and anxiously await the Zdarsky Peter Parker whenever that launches. Have we seen a solicit on that yet?
Yep, it was solicited last month.
It was?
Yep.
I think I overlooked it, so I'm a little more excited about it now.
So keep an eye on your Secret Empire as that little badge at the top slowly morphs from Captain America to Hydra. Just
is that what it's going to do?
Yeah, you're going to notice every issue that goes by it morphs into more of a Hydra badge.
Yeah. And now, what I'm probably not going to do is chase all the different tie-ins. I'll probably just read this mainline thing.
As what we do with almost every Marvel event, we dip our toes.
Yeah. What was the one where... It wasn't that long ago where I did do all the tie-ins and tried to keep up and end up just being disappointed. Was it Forever Evil, maybe?
I can't remember. That was DC.
Right. But they can also disappoint me.
Yeah, I don't know. We have something very weird with Spider-Man Deadpool number 17.
Uh-huh.
We have Ed McGuinness on art,
Okay.
but we have Joshua Corrin on writing. So
Who?
I don't know. Not Kelly. But
The cover says Kelly.
that's what I was just about to say, but I think the cover says Kelly. So on this one, I cannot tell if it's our mainline creative team or guests on this one. I believe it's our line creative team on that.
Where does Diamond hire their web people? I mean, there's a lot of mistakes on this thing.
They are phoning it in, my friend.
Oh, my goodness.
Venom? Oh, that's just the poster on Venom 150. I was like, wait a minute.
Venom!
Venom! Here we go! Yeah, X-Men Gold 3 out this week.
Yeah. Hopefully no Holy War starting art in this one.
With meticulously scrubbed down art.
And I'm assuming that the editor still has a job.
Yeah.
The one that missed everything else.
I think that was him at C2E2. So
is it Nick Lowe? Is the same guy?
I don't know.
God,
Probably.
he was not impressive. Not impressive. Yeah, that's all I have in Marvel.
All right, from Marvel, we're going to look into some of our smaller publishers. We're going to head to the back of the book and see what we can suss out of our Aftershocks, our Boom Studios, our Oni presses.
Alterna Comics. This is launching Amazing Age #1, which was kind of the one that stuck out the most to me in their first round of solicits for $1.50 cover.
$1.50.
It's a bi-monthly book, so every other month, not twice a month. And it'll be Amazing Age #1 from Alterna Comics, $1.50. Awesome on newsprint. Hope it's not
really want to
jarring.
hold these in my hands and feel how they feel.
Yeah. I think the covers could just like fall apart in your hand.
Yeah.
With what you're used to. But back to disposable comics means what for us as collectors, huh? Tough to find these in high grade.
Yeah, no doubt, exactly. But they sold through what they wanted through on these, if I remember correctly. So that is good to hear.
They also have Adam Rec #1, which didn't look as good, but I'm getting it anyway. Couple copies. They also
have the Amazing Age,
Adam Rec. Was there anything else this month that was coming out from Alterna? I don't have it. I don't have it that way. I can't really tell.
It looks like we have Croak #1.
Yes, that was one of theirs.
I am simply scrolling and looking for.
Should be 4.
$50.
But I don't know if they're all coming out
Lilith
the same
Dark #1.
Lilith Dark. That should do it. I think it was 4 of them at $1.50. All from Alterna. So check all those out and report back.
For good reads or good specs, sir?
Well, I mean, I think we're worried that there's not going to be any spec value for them because the quality is not going to be there, the collectability is not going to be there. But if it's a super great read and it's under order, that could be something.
That could be.
But I don't know how confident I am about that. I just want them to do well, just because it's affordable comics. Reasonable price.
I do know.
Yeah. From Lion Forge, there's a book called Ab Iratu #1 from Thierry Labrosi. Writing, art, and cover, at least according to the solicit, which we know is full of crap. So May 3rd comes out, $3.99. A dystopian future of rising sea levels, kind of like The Massive. The rich have access to a rejuvenating vaccine, kind of like The Beauty, that can allow lifespans of hundreds of years. A young man named Riel arrives in the urban metropolis of Montreal and meets a young woman, Neve, who is allied with rebel insurgents, fighting the corporate powers that control the city and the vaccine. Okay. Interesting. It goes back to our original theory of one guy doing too much. Might be a problem.
Blood Blister #2 from Aftershock, Phil Hester and Eric Layton.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Catalyst Prime Noble. No, it's Catalyst. Wait a minute. Lion Forge is the publisher. Catalyst Noble looks to be the title. And Catalyst Prime looks to be like the imprint or the title of the story arc, maybe?
Yeah, that's weird.
Kind of confusing. Written by Brandon Thomas, art by Roger Robinson. It looks to be called Noble, not Catalyst Prime Noble, but whatever. Man, these lists are terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, Courier number 2 is a Zenoscope book. I got kind of heavy on that first issue, knowing that no Zenoscopes have made me any money ever. I screwed that up and did it anyway. So
we have The Damned, number 1 from Oni Press, written by Cullen Brunn with art by Brian Hurt.
Who's doing that cover? Pretty cover.
Yeah, very cool wraparound cover. I don't know if that's Bill Crabtree or Brian Hurt on that cover. It doesn't give me any specifics on that, unfortunately.
Very nice. The Jungle Fantasy Annual.
Hey now.
If you're old enough to buy it, is out for $5.99 or $7.99, depending on which nude cover you buy. What else we got?
Pestilence number 1. This one I'm looking for.
There's the one, yeah.
Aftershocks Comics, Pestilence number 1, Frank Thierry, Oleg Okunev with art, Tim Bradstreet on the cover. New series in the late 14th century, and a great pestilence, the Black Death, is sweeping across Europe, killing over 100 million people. But what if history as we know it was a lie? What if in reality this was no straightforward plague, but the first non-recorded zombie infestation of man? Ex-Crusader Roderick Helm and his fellow Black Ops agents, the Church, Fiat Lux, must seek out the cause of this undead outbreak and vanquish it before mankind seeks to exist. I mean, I love this. This sounds awesome.
So that's Pestilence.
Yeah, I'm all over that.
All about it.
Yeah.
From Alternative Comics, we've got Slasher number 1, written by Charles Forsman, with art and cover by Charles Forsman. A new psychosexual thriller from the creator of The End of the Effing World and Revenger. Christine is a data entry specialist, discovering her sexuality and her penchant for blood. What is this monster brewing inside her? See as she is introduced to Joshua, a wheelchair-bound nerd with similar interests. Ooh, this sounds pretty awful. And it's $5. I'm going to pass.
Project Superpowers Hero Killers number 1 by Ryan Brown, our good friend we met this weekend, with art by Pete Woods. Welcome to Libertyville, USA, home of too damn many superheroes. Watch out, crime. Here comes Captain Battle Jr. and Sparky and Tim. Yeah. You know, Tim. What? You've never heard of them? Huh? Well, it's hard to be a sidekick when there is a city full of capes running around stopping every misdemeanor with a spandex-wrapped flourish. Now watch as things get weird when 3 lad companions, totally not weird, try to get to the criminals before their bosses do. From the insanity-riddled mind of Ryan Brown from God Hate Astronauts and Pete Woods from Robin and Deadpool. Prepare to feel the wrath of Tim.
Yeah.
Sounds weird, but worth a read.
Yeah,
Sounds like he's going to have a good sense of humor there.
Yeah. Yeah. We like Ryan Braun. Or as I like to call him, not Charles Soule.
Not Charles Soule.
From 451 Media Group, your boy.
Yeah.
Stain number 1. Written by David Barron with art by Yusuf Idris and a cover by Steve Morris. Meet Emma London, a recovery artist and bounty hunter for hire. She's strong, possibly indomitable. And did we mention part machine? Emma is the type that dives headfirst into things that most wouldn't and shouldn't. $3.99. Looks okay.
With a jock incentive cover.
Nice.
Yeah. Strange Fruit hardcover. Our good friend Mark Waid and J.G. Jones with knock it out of the park art for this.
Yeah.
Pick up this hardcover, and it will never seem like these 4 books came out a year and a half apart. Great story.
It's true. Now, you like fighting games at all?
I suck hardcore at them, but I love the crap out of the Injustices and the Mortal Kombat.
Oh, do you remember Tekken?
You're darn right I remember Tekken. I played as a bear.
Has this ever been a comic before?
I don't believe so.
Well, Titan is putting out Tekken #1, an all-new comic series based on the iconic fighting game franchise. Written by Kavan Scott and illustrated by Andy Tong. This sensational new comic series taps into Tekken's rich history, features memorable characters from the celebrated video game canon, including Heihachi Mishomi, Yoshimitsui, Nino Williams, and Paul Phoenix. Comic regularly promoted on official Tekken social networking channels. Ooh, the official Tekken social networking channels of over 3 million fans. So if only half of them buy one, well, then that's going to be the #1 comic.
Yeah, no doubt.
By a long shot.
It could easily go the way of the first Dark Souls from Titans, where it sold through and commanded triple cover for a while.
Yeah.
So this could easily be a nice little quick flip. If it sticks to that, cover A was the way to go on that one.
And I missed the boat on this one. I think I completely spaced that this even existed.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, I'll save that. I'll save my picks for later.
There you go. Sword Quest 0, cover A. I saw this while flipping through the previews, and for a quarter I picked up, I think, 4 of them.
Yeah, me too.
Peter Case is a boy on a quest, the quest to win the prizes from Atari's Sword Quest Challenge. He was counting down the days to the release of the final game, Air World, only to be shattered when the news surfaced that it would never be released. Now, Peter is an adult, and things aren't going well. The bad news is he has to move back in with his mother. Wah wah. The good news is he still has all of his old Atari stuff, with nothing else to look forward to. His obsession with Sword Quest is reignited in a more, interesting way. Interesting. I'm in.
Yeah.
Quarter, I'm definitely in.
Yeah, I never played Sword Quest, I don't think.
Yeah.
Back in the day. Like, I have vague recollection of some kind of contest like that, though. Was that legit? Did that really happen?
I have no idea.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember. I can't remember exactly what that was about. How about Underdog? Do you remember Underdog?
I remember Underdog well. I very much enjoy that theme song. And that is a very cool looking classic homage Galvan cover they got there. That one might be worth having just because people love those homage covers, if for no other reason.
Which one was the homage cover?
The one that says Underdog #1 classic homage cover.
Underdog #1 classic homage Galvan. Let's look at that one. Oh, I don't like those covers. Really? Those are the ones that are hot?
Some people like homage covers that take things like, Action Comics #1 and spoof it.
Yeah, that's true. I guess I can get that. Underdog was like always like the B segment on Rocky and Bullwinkle. Is that right?
I think that sounds right.
I don't think he had his own show, or he might have eventually. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about licensed properties. So sometimes they're okay, and sometimes
They're usually not, but I think that homage cover could be a thing to snag up.
Yeah.
All right, Drew. Looks like we're down at the back end of that. Anything else you found in the back half of the books?
No.
All right, Drew, there's a point where I say, what do you want? What's my one of the week? What's the one to make sure you run to your LCS and snag up this week? Drew, what you got for me?
Ooh, man. You know what? There's so many. There's a lot going on this week that you could pick from. I still think I'm going to go with Eternal Empire, even though Alex and Ada did nothing. I think there was so much love for that book that this one's going to be super hot and exciting.
Very nice. I am kicking the doors of my LCS down and saying, give me all your Pestilence, number 1, from Aftershock Comics.
Very good.
It sounds good.
1B would be probably grab a Tekken if there's some on the shelf.
Absolutely.
1BA/1 would be maybe an Injustice 2 number 1 would be.
Yeah, definitely.
Because that first issue of the last Tom Taylor Injustice sold out. Went to a lot of printings.
Yep.
So that might be a good one. There's tons.
And I got to hunt down the 10-copy incentive of Pestilence number 1.
Yeah. Some folks have been warning us about Aftershock and this crazy amount of variants that they're doing, with books selling 1,500 and 2,000 copies, and them doing all these variants on top of it with very little sales. That very possible that they could burst. So be careful with the Aftershock, folks.
There you go. Very much so. Anything else, Drew?
No, I think that's it. Glad to be back, and hope you missed us a little bit. I'm glad we're back. So that's awesome to be back.
No kidding, absolutely. I want to thank you for listening to Comics for Fun and Profit. Thank you for tagging along with Drew and myself as we just round down all comics releasing on May 3rd, 2017. I want to thank you for all you've done for us. Thank you for commenting on things on our Facebook, our Twitters. Thank you for going to comicsfunprofit.com and dropping us a line on our Gmail account and everything else. Want to incentivize, if you have iTunes, please feel free to drop us 5 stars and say something wonderful about us. Move us towards the top of the podcasting ranks. If not in America, then Australia and the UK as well. Want to thank you once again for Drew and myself. See ya.